Loud. Welcome, everybody. You can turn your cameras on if you want. We want to see you.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to mute myself. Chrystal, are you? You're kicking it off, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Are you're recording? Awesome. And then I will screen share. Just my screen. Okay. Boom. We got it. We can see it, right? Okay. So we are obviously in perilous times and everyone's freaking out. And what do we do? And marketing obviously is a very big part of this. So we're going to talk about marketing strategy. My name is Chrystal Rose. If you don't know who I am, I have 15 years of experience in marketing. I've specialized in promotion, social media, branding, and community building. My first business was a marketing company that successfully helped clients create unique campaigns and stand out before I went all in on myself. I formerly co-owned an online magazine. We had millions of clicks and we had an internationally distributed quarterly print edition. I have led 2 successful crowdfunding campaigns, and I am the current owner of Rebellia, which is a 6-figure annual sales e-commerce store. And I have business to business and business to consumer experience. So today we are going to talk about the current state and why you need to double down now on your marketing. Who is your customer? Speaking their language, and community building 101. Times are scary and uncertain. Why double down now? Kellogg versus Post, the Great Depression and the cereal war. When the Great Depression hit, Post did the predictable thing, the thing that many companies are doing today. They cut their expenses and advertising budget. Kellogg, on the other hand, doubled their marketing and ad budget, aggressively moved into radio advertising. They also innovated and added a new product. It was actually Rice Krispies. Not only did Kellogg's profits increase by 30% at the very deepest part of the depression, but they are still the dominant brand in the industry. So what does that tell you? That tells you that during these times of uncertainty, you want to be seen. You want people to know that you still exist because they forget about it. They will forget about you and they will move on to what exists because people are still buying, they're still spending, they're still shopping, and there are still people to market to. So it's really, really important that you don't freak out, cut all your expenses, cut your budgets. Now is the time more than ever to be putting your money into marketing. So, who is your ideal customer? If you think your customer is everyone, now is the time to get really clear on your niche. Your customer is not everyone. Even if you think everyone would love your product, going wide instead of deep is a mistake. So now is a good time to get really clear on your niche. Think about the person, even if your person currently through this time isn't the same person that you would normally market to because the times have changed, right? So I love this quote by Seth Godin. The most important lesson I can share about marketing is this: you definitely, certainly, and surely don't have enough time and money to build a brand for everyone. Be specific, be very specific. So I am seeing a lot of scrambling right now, people who are trying to be there for everyone. I've got tips on this, I've got tips on that, I can teach you this, I can teach you that. Instead of focusing on their current ideal customer. There are different ways that you can determine who this person is. One of the biggest and most popular ways is to come up with an avatar. And that is to create a person in your head that acts the way your ideal customer does. How old are they? What are their spending habits? Maybe their, demographics like college education, things like that. Who is your ideal customer? I don't care what their favorite color is. That doesn't matter unless you only sell one color. But to think about who is this person What do they do? How do they act? Where do they spend their money? Where do they hang out? That is very, very, very important. Speaking their language. A lot of people get into this fluffy world where they think they're using the correct language when in reality, that's not what your customer is looking for. So one way to figure this out is the Google test. What is your customer Googling? So in my business, I sell boutique clothing to chicks with muscles and athletic bodies. If my customer is most likely Googling clothes that fit, clothes that fit girls with muscles. They're not Googling fashion destination for women with athletic bodies, right? So why would I use that? That was something, actually a mistake I made in the very beginning. I used that kind of language, and that's not what people are looking for. Shirts that fit biceps. That might be something that my customer is Googling. So put it to the test. What is a Google test? What is your customer Googling right now? What problem are you solving for them? Problem solving is really the foundation of being in business. Why are you in business if you're not solving a problem for someone, right? So people want solutions, and you in your business offers a solution to someone's problem. So figure out what is that problem and then communicate it to them, how you are the solution. And meet them where they are. I recently changed my social media because I realized that instead of being specific to my customer and speaking my customer's language, I was using very broad, general language. Instead of specifically speaking to them, I would say, this cute jumpsuit, blah, 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 right? And now I'm talking about how it specifically solves their problem, fits their body, and, you know, throw in the cute here and there, but I am talking specifically to them. So you want to meet them where they are. You want to use their language. What problem are you solving for them? What are they Googling? How can I reach them? And community building 101, create raving fans. If you do not currently have a community, it's not too late to build one, but this is the most important thing, and it is going to safeguard your business through these times. Now, of course, people in your community aren't always going to be able to buy, but there will be some who are still. And it is huge, you guys. I have a Facebook group with only about 1,000 people, and it is highly engaged. And there is a woman, this is this first little clip that I'm showing you, Rebecca. So Rebecca recently bought gift cards for other people in my community. So I have created a space. I have filled it with people who are spending money already, their customers, but also prospects, people who fit my niche, and they haven't shopped, but they're getting this testimonial, this word of mouth right here in my community from my current customers. Now, this is the place that I spend the most time in. I engage. I am on every post. I am commenting on everything. I am liking everything. I show up day in and day out. This is where I spend all my time. If you don't see me anywhere on the internet, this is where I am. And this is where I'm spending the most time right now. I am giving to my customers. I am doing free lives. I have a small community that I'm coaching nutrition on, and I am providing free workouts to them. I'm not going all over the place offering free this and free that to everyone. I am going to my community and I am giving back to them. And these are just other little testimonials that people are sharing. This is, the middle one is an Instagram story. And this girl wrote this beautiful testimonial about everything that my community has given to her. And then the last one is actually a hang tag from one of my products. So I deliver this community in every aspect of my business that I possibly can, not just this Facebook group. I have quotes on our Instagram page that draw people in and make them feel a part of it. We call them Rebel Babes. We have a name for them. You know, they feel part of a community. We send out this manifesto on our hang tag. So every part of my business takes this whole community idea and wraps it up and makes people feel like they're part of something special. And that is not exclusive to me or my brand. That is something every single person can do, whether you have a business to business or a business to consumer business. But this community is what will save your business through these uncertain and crazy times. We are still having, I put out less products last week than I normally do, and I had more sales than my worst day with more products. So we are still, people are buying, people are shopping, people are supporting each other, and this community is giving back, and it's amazing. So that's really what I have for marketing. I think those are the most important parts. Let me unshare here. You know, that's the most important parts of what you can do right now, I would say. And another big part and important thing is sharing your story and getting really, really clear on your story, and that will fuel your marketing. And that is Arden's territory with PR and media relations.
Hello, everyone. Super excited you're here. I want you to first, we will be taking questions, but you'll probably have questions as we're going as well. So I'd love for you to put those in the chat section or write them down, because I know we're going to want to hit that, and because we're really creating something. This is our preview to what we're trying to create for our community. And one of the big things we are always talking about, I'm Arden. I love to build community. That's just one of my mainstays. And what I'm seeing in PR right now is people are trying to figure out how to tell their story. And so part of figuring out how to tell your story is letting professionals like me help you. So what's the questions we need to be answering right now? What are you seeing? So I'm going to pop into my screen share. My cats are trying to get in the middle, so just ignore them. It's funny, most of us have similar colors. So this is, Definita is my company. Define yourself in a cluttered marketplace is what I talk about. And what I like to do is help you define yourself through story. So first, what does someone in PR do? So people have different perspectives of what PR is. Sometimes you think they're the Olivia Popes of the world, they're the fixers. Some people call us spin doctors. There's all sorts of different images. But for me, I got this definition actually from Forbes, and it's exactly who I am. PR people are storytellers. PR can be used to protect, enhance, or build reputations through media, social media, or self-produced communications. So I love to dive into what all the different forms of media relations. Why for me, I talk about story so much is because people relate to story. There is a reason we all love to get some sort of reality TV. There's a reason that Tiger King is the #1 show on Netflix right now. People are really into this Carol Bascom and Tiger King and all the different things because they're like, that can't be real. But it is, because it's their story, right? Like, but part of it is when you're really trying to communicate yourself and share who you are, you have to have goals based on it. So personally, I started Definita because I really and truly wanted to be able to do something for myself. I really love media relations. I love everything about my friends in media. I'm a journalism major, and I am a creative writing minor. I know how story has impacted me. So I wanted to create whatever this was. So I started looking at myself, what are my niches? What do I do? How do I do it? And my story really is, even with reading and story, my dad couldn't read growing up. He was a very slow reader. And so he went to college solely on an athletic scholarship. But I would sit in his lap, he would read to me, and he began to make his reading was better. And so part of my story is, oh my gosh, my dad's a storyteller who has a little bit of ADD and has a little bit of a learning disability, but he was able to sit with me and craft me and form me into a really strong woman. So I want to enable other people. And part of that always goes back to, who are you? I'm also a person that has a lot of contacts. So during COVID, I was like, I can't support everyone financially, but I can create a TV show. So part of my story is my community. But I know that because I know my goal. And my goal is to help you tell your story better and more effectively. And my goal always is I want to help people who need to be at the forefront be at the forefront. So that's where you have to look, what are my goals? Like, why am I coming to this program right now? What am I trying to get out of it? Because then you can start to look at, you dive deep. Like between now and next week, if y'all join us again, I will encourage you to dive deep into, why did I start this business in the first place? What am I trying to get out of it? Do I want to create more sales? And that's still misspelled, Chrystal. Do I want to speak more? Do I want to position myself as an expert? Do I want to create brand loyalty? What do I want to do? The next part of what I think about story is media relations. And media relations, although we often think about TV, which is super fun and it's one of my favorites, we think about print, we think about, if you're in Charlotte, the Charlotte Agendas and the Charlotte Fives. But what I also want you to think about is, and we think about social media influencers, but who on social media is an impactor? Who in traditional media is someone you wouldn't think about that really needs to tell your story? Are you always trying to get national coverage, but national coverage will not lead to helping your bottom line? Figuring out what it is for media relations through social media, through traditional media, and through other communication platforms, honestly, through your email newsletters, all of these ways that you talk to people, your speaking engagements, that's all part of your media relations, and that's all why you have to know your story. So here's an example. I have worked with, say I'm working with a spray tanning company, and that spray tanning company is incredible. They're the best spray tanning company, but they keep pushing me to get them national media. However, they have 2 spray tanners and both of them are based in Atlanta, Georgia. Well, unless they're willing to fly all over the country, they don't need to focus on national media. They need to focus on Atlanta, Georgia, local media. They need to stay in their sphere because that's who is going to purchase from them. So that's when you're talking about media relations and talking about that kind of thing, you need to know who's going to buy from you. And that's where what I call the Definita secret sauce is, you have to have your strategic story. That story is, think about story in the way of, who are you? What difference do you make? Going back to Chrystal's target audience, who's your target audience? And then how do I reach them? And that's where the media relations comes in. So when I talk about media relations, it's not just your stereotypical press box. It's all the different parts, and it's who needs to be hearing from you where. So this is my where you can help, and then I'm just gonna pop in and talk because I love to talk more than anything. I want y'all to really be thinking about, what are the biggest takeaways you can take from this is start to go, what are my communication, I'm going in the chat box, communication objectives. Who is my ideal target audience? And the audience is spelled wrong, sorry. What problem do I solve? Because without those things, it is just like every story that you learned in English class. The who, what, when, where, the plot, the setting, the climax, all of those things. That's your story. And without knowing your objective, without knowing your ideal target audience, not who's buying from you now, who you want to be buying from you, without knowing what problem you solve, you never know what media to go to. Jacinda's on here. I can't go to Jacinda and say, oh my gosh, I've got the best thing for you and fly tie. And suddenly you're like, well, fly tie and I cover this, and you're actually wanting me to do something outside of what we cover. Well, that's not a great pitch for them because that isn't what they want to hear. But if I hadn't taken the time to unplug it and dig into it, I would never know, oh, I'm not a fit for Jacinda and fly tie. I'm a fit for whoever else, like other people, based on what your media is. And what your media will tell you, especially local media, is Jen's own media too. Know who I am before you ever come to me. Know what I need. but you can't know what they need until you know what you have to offer. And what you have to offer, you've got to unpack that for yourself. My objectives going into this just personally are, coming out of COVID, I want to be an expert on helping people unpack their message. And I want to be an expert on helping people get local media. Those are my two stories. Outside of that, I find someone else to support any additional work I can do. So that's where a setback for me right now is local media I'm not able to take anyone into studio, not a person. I have 3 clients with launches this month. All 3 had been working all year for this particular launch. What I did, I'm just telling you right now, I hopped on a Zoom call, I recorded them, we got as best we could. I've sent them to every single person. I'm like, either you can take 30-second clips from this or you can have them on. Luckily, I've gotten all of them on so far, but maybe I'll have to take 30-second clips. But I know what their message is and I know what the media are looking for. And that's what you need to know as well is what's the circumstance right now? We're not allowed to leave. How do you get creative? You take that setback and make it successful for you in that moment. And so that's what I love to do. And so I'm going to pass it on to Jen. Jen's going to teach you how to, once you know what you love, you're building those raving fans, you know the right audience you want to get to. You've got that perfect email list and the perfect email and it's all built out, but nobody's buying from you. What do you do? Because ultimately marketing, what we say all the time, marketing is important because if they don't know who you are, they cannot buy from you. But if you're not saying it the right way, I've said things a million ways because I know exactly who I am and had people not buy from me. So I've had to go to my experts and go, why are they not buying from me? I'm not saying it in the specific way and I'm not putting it out there how I should. So Jen's going to go into that for y'all.
Hey guys, Arden, Chrystal, that was awesome. I am so excited to wrap this up with the sales portion of this. So just a reminder, feel free to put any comments, questions in the chat and we will make sure to address them. Let me share my presentation with you guys. Okay. Can you, ooh, it just went to my other screen. Not good. Hold on. Just then I know you can't see it. Unplug that sucker. All right. Can you see it? If I press play? All right. The number one question that I am getting right now all the time is, Jen, can I sell right now? And I have an answer to this that you may or may not like, but my answer absolutely, without a doubt, is yes. And in this section of mine, I'm going to talk to you about what you need to do differently right now in order to make sales and in order to feel comfortable selling, because you don't want to feel like you're taking advantage of the marketplace. And if you're like that guy who bought all the all the hand sanitizer and hoarded it in his garage, not good. That's not what you want to be doing. But in my opinion, selling right now has changed in this sense, okay? You need to now be focusing on these 3 things. The first one is relevancy. This is relevancy of your offer. What are you offering right now? And you may need to pivot what you're offering. You may need to bring stuff online. You may need to be doing things or talking about things a little bit differently. It's also relevancy of your messaging. And so just like Arden said, you need to address what's going on in the marketplace. Don't ignore the fact that there is a lot of fear out there right now. Don't ignore the fact that these are uncertain times. Address the elephant in the room, because it's going to make people feel like you're meeting them where they're at and you know exactly where they are and you're making it more relevant for them. We had an in-person event that we were going to do a week or 2 ago. And we had advertised it. We had close to 100 people coming to our event in person before we stopped advertising a couple weeks out. And we realized that we quickly needed to pivot, and we just put the whole thing online. But the messaging didn't meet people where they were at. Basically, we took the same exact event and said, let's do this online. And the information that people were coming to that event for was no longer information that people needed right now. So we changed our messaging for that event. We talked about what's going on in the marketplace. We talked about how we can help you react, respond, and recover right now. And we had 7 speakers lined up. We changed all of their messaging and how they talked about, their presentations and what presentations they gave. And all of a sudden, when we made it more relevant, we got 130 people to sign up and pay $297. Okay, so I can tell you.
I'm interrupting you, Jen. I want everyone to listen to that one more time. Like, what did they do?
We got 130 people on top of the 70 to sign up and pay $297. And then it was a 2-day event, and we even pitched a $20,000 mastermind from there. And we had 30 people submit applications. Now, not everyone is accepted, and of the people accepted, not everyone can afford it right now. But the fact that we had that much interest, I think from pivoting our message is just unbelievable. And so the first thing I cannot stress this enough. Like, when we just converted the event to online, it didn't sell. Okay. We changed our messaging and we changed the offer to make both of those two things relevant. And all of the clients that I've been coaching personally, I've been doing the exact same thing with, because right now, offer and messaging is so key. And that brings me to perceived value. So it's not about value, it's about perceived value. Like, what does your client, what does your customer, what are they looking for right now that they would actually find valuable and helpful? Because like what Chrystal was saying at the beginning, we all make sales because of problems. People have problems. They want your solution. It's really that simple. That's how our economy works. You want a solution. You want something that's going to fast track you or accelerate your growth or make something happen and help you. You're going to invest money in it. And so it's all about your customers' perceived value. And then relationships. Right now, relationships are even more key than ever before. People feel lonely at home. People are bored, or like their kids are driving them crazy because they're now teachers. Believe me, I know. And so I didn't ever think I was going to be a teacher. Let me tell you that. And I give teachers so much credit, but like, that's just how it is. Relationships right now are even more important than ever before. So I want to dig into 2 of those things in the full course that we're giving in a week. I really dig into all of these things in more depth. But for right now, I want to talk about perceived value, because I don't think that that's something that we as a society focus on as much as we need to. It's about value-based selling. And so if you want to sell with value, you first have to take a walk in your customer's shoes. You literally have to say, what does my ideal client, what do they need right now? What are they going through right now? And if you don't know, call a few of them and ask them and just have conversations. Hop on a Zoom. It's really like that simple to figure out what they need right now. And value-based selling has nothing to do with how you perceive it to be valuable. It's all about if your customer perceives your offer to be valuable. So back to this chart for a second. The next thing I really want to talk about is relationships, because right now, relationships, while they're even more important than ever before, they're also harder to build than ever before. You can't just go grab a drink with your friend and then meet other people. You can't just go to a networking meeting and go with the one person you know and then walk away with 3 new buddies. Like, that's not how it's working right now. And so what I want to talk about is the know, like, and trust factor in these times. You all know, you've all heard it. I don't need to teach you that in order to make sales, you need know, like, and trust, right? You need people to know who you are. You need people to like you. And you need people to trust you. My husband, who's an author and sales expert as well, says, he has a great quote, and he says, people, oh no, I'm going to mess up the quote. If people know you and like you and trust you and believe in you, then they may buy from you. So it's not like these things guarantee a sale, but if you don't have these things, you're never going to get a sale. And so how do you begin to even create the know, like, and trust factor online? Are you in Facebook groups? Are you a lurker? Or are you actually stepping up and giving advice and showing up and answering people's questions to be a helper and a communicator and someone of value? Are you asking your friends who are also, owning businesses and trying to get through the same exact thing? That's kind of like, I don't want to call it the coolest thing about this all, but like the one silver lining about this is we're all going through the exact same thing. Like when it was 9/11 and I was in New York, New York felt it in a different way than most of the country. But it's not just New York. It's not just Charlotte. It's not just wherever you live. It's the entire world. We're all going through this. And so now is a time, like I'm getting on Zoom calls with my friends from the UK. I'm connecting with people in the Philippines, with people in the US, like just connections all over, because that's what we need right now more than ever. And in my opinion, the value-based selling, so how do you create that perceived value? Well, it begins with video-based selling. It begins just like we are right now. A lot of you turned your cameras on, and I love that. I love seeing your faces, and I love connecting with you, because now I can actually put a face to a name. Whereas if you're hiding, it's okay too. But if you are hiding, it's really hard to see who you are and begin to build that connection. And so, and it's okay. Like you didn't come here. You might not have come here for community. You may have just come for our information. And I totally get that. But the truth is that video-based messaging, whether it's live video on Facebook, whether it's popping in a Facebook group to step up as a leader, whether it's just hopping on your phone, literally, and sending a video message to a friend or family member that you haven't spoken to in a while, video messages accelerate the trust factor. Video messages accelerate the relational factor. They accelerate the emotional connection, because all of a sudden now you can have these connections and talk face to face. We use a program called Hippo Video, and it embeds right into your email. Like there's a Chrome extension. We literally can go on our computer, send a video-based message. The editing piece of it is amazing. There's a free version, by the way. I'm not selling you anything. It's hippovideo.io. And literally we can send thanks, after someone buys something. We can have video messages during the conversation. You can send video messages on LinkedIn now. I mean, video is where it's at, especially right now. And I do think this is going to be part of whatever the new normal is. I do think that video is going to be used so much more heavily than ever before, because you can reaffirm their purchase, you can give them that wow, you can connect with them more personally. There's so many ways to use it that will accelerate that know, like, and trust factor. And Sharon says use loom.com also works. Yeah, I love Loom. I send Looms all day as well. Hippo does it as well. Like you can screen share. It's really cool. And so I know I didn't start off with introducing myself, because to be honest, you don't care who I am at the very beginning. Unless I give you value, you probably don't care who I am. You want to know, who is this girl? What she got for me? How can she help me? And that's kind of how your customers are. They don't really care who you are until they know you can help solve their problem, until they know that like there's something in it for them. And so I always put my introduction in the middle because I really think it's no offense to me, it's no offense to you. People don't care until they know there's something in it for them. I'm an author. I wrote this book, Sales in a New York Minute. I'm a speaker. I'm a wife and stepmom, and I'm a sales mindset and business growth coach. I help female entrepreneurs grow their businesses by making more sales, creating better relationships, and earning loyalty. It's my passion. It is like my lifeblood. I freaking love it. I hope you can feel it through the screen. And I want to help you do the same. Now, I love this slide because this picture to me represents what's going on in this world right now. There are people who are going to look at the setbacks that are happening right now. They're going to look at the sales. We had so many sales coming in right before this pandemic, and people just said, whoa, pause, we need to get back to you. Like money on the line, invoices sent out, not coming in. And we could look at those as failures, and we could look at those as setbacks, and we could be carrying that weight on our shoulders. Or we could be using them as stepping stones to get to where we want to go. And it's the same thing for you. Okay. I am sure in the past couple of weeks, you have experienced at least one setback. I think everyone has, maybe more than one, maybe a whole bunch. And you can look at those setbacks, you can look at those failures as bricks that are literally weighing down on your shoulders, weighing down on your head, weighing you and your business down. Or you can take them and use them to grow. And you can look at them and say, you know what? This is how I was doing business, but this is how I'm going to be doing business right now, because I know I can sell, because I can help people. I can give people value. And let's be honest, like money is energy, and it's part of how the world goes round. Like you have a duty right now to help your people. Now, I know it's not December. I know it's April, okay? But I always have Santa Claus on my mind because I freaking love this man. Like, he just like comes through your chimney and brings you presents, and who doesn't want that, especially right now? But right now, you have a gift. You have some sort of gift, whether it's a product you offer this world, or a service you offer this world, or knowledge or skill set. You have some sort of gift, and you get to be Santa Claus. You get to think about, how are you helping your people in these times? How are you stepping up? You might not want to go through their chimney. It's not social distant enough, but go through their screen and help them. And then the second thing to think about, the second thing to consider is, how are you helping yourself in these times? You came to this. You're looking for help. And I respect that. I take so many trainings. I eat my own dog food. Like, I don't just say show up to training and invest in yourself. I invest in myself all year long. I'm in a mastermind. I'm in a coaching group. I buy courses because they help. Okay, courses are like, they will help you get someplace faster, quicker, stronger. And so we put this together for you to give you, a preview, some insight, some knowledge, and like start putting in the chat, like, what's the thing you're going to take away from this? What's the thing you're going to do right now so that you can begin to use your new PR skills, your new community building, raving fans, marketing skills, and your new sales knowledge and skills to get to that next level, to hold on to and take this time as a gift and turn it into an opportunity. One of the things that we have put together, and I want to know what you guys are doing in the chat. Like, what is that thing that you want to take away? When you can't change the situation, you can change your attitude. Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, and like your attitude, I love mindset. I could talk about this forever, but your attitude is something that you can control. You can't control the situation. So why focus on something you can't control, but rather focus on something you can control, like how you respond to and react to the situation and how you let it affect your mind. So one of the things we want to invite you to right now is we've created this lemonade stand 2-hour course on April 14th. I don't know if this is in the way for me or everybody, but the lemonade stand, and it's all about diving deeper into these concepts. Like what we have just given you is the tip of the iceberg. It is the beginning. It is the foundation. And how we are going to continue this is hopefully we will see you on that lemonade stand. I think we're going to pop a link in there. And if you sign up within 24 hours of this session, we're going to give you guys $50 off, so it's going to be $247 instead of $297. And we have like a promo code or whatever. But this is a course that we're putting together that's not just going to be something that's relevant for these times. It's going to be something that you can use for a lifetime. So you're going to invest this much time, like 2 hours of your time and some money into getting into this course. And then you're going to have the recordings and access to it for a lifetime. And you're going to be able to use that knowledge for a lifetime. I want to open it up to you guys and talk through your questions, your thoughts. Let's see what y'all are writing in the chat here. I want to position to stronger and better, consider video-based selling, and the idea of being genuine. Yes, yes. I love that. Cool. Use lemonade. Oh yeah, lemonade. Because this is about turning lemons into lemonade. Like,
repurpose my house. I'm into lemons right now. All the lemonade. I'll jump in. One of the things I loved was, I've seen these so many times, but I love looking at gifting other people right now, right? Like gifting other people and gifting ourselves. Because one of the best things, I think, I've got an Arden's chat show now, and just introducing people to people I know. And one of the coolest things is seeing how so many service-based industries are also local. So they're stepping up. A lot of service-based industries are small businesses too, and they're stepping up to give COVID pricing. And I love that we're able to give that gift to each other and go, okay, I know that this class is $1,000 class or whatever, but look, I understand the circumstances, and I'm going to gift this because I believe in the global world, and I believe that we're going to make it better together. That's just been cool to see a lot of people doing that.
I'll just hop in really fast.
go for it.
I just want to say, like, I no longer consult in marketing anymore. I don't teach marketing. I don't take clients anymore. And so doing this class and this course was something for me, like I felt like this was my time to be able to give back, because I am seeing success in the ways that I am operating and what I am doing for myself. So, you know, like this is what Jen does, this is what Arden does, and this is what I do for me. And so I felt like, you know, this is a good time to be able to give back to other women, especially who are running businesses. So that was important. Also, I don't know if you mentioned it, Jen, but we are doing follow-up calls.
Oh yeah, I didn't mention it.
Yeah, so if you do the full 2-hour course and you want to like dive in with one of us and get really specific and have your questions answered, I don't, is it 20-minute follow-up?
Like consulting calls, yeah.
Yeah. So you can just, like, that's just included. And I know, like, for me personally, like, that's all you'll get from me. It's like 20 minutes. I don't need to, like, you know, hire me or anything after that. It's literally just, let's answer your questions. Let's dive deep. Let's brainstorm and get you to where you want to go.
Yeah. I think that's with any of us. Like, this isn't an opportunity. We definitely want y'all to take the class, but this isn't a, oh my gosh, now you need to hire us for like 10 years or anything. So, I see Stephanie Reel and Stephanie Norris on here. They're doing some cool things. Y'all should pop it in the chat. What you're doing.
I love what Chrystal said at the beginning too, between Kellogg's and Post. I mean, I can think of like so many other companies like that. They talk about like how so many of these amazing entrepreneurs, oh, little cat.
This is Claus.
So many of these amazing entrepreneurs came out of the last recession, like
Mhm.
because they pivoted, because they did something different. They met the market exactly where they were at and what their needs were. And that's the challenge to everyone on this call right now. That's the challenge to all of us here, because like Chrystal said, like she's an amazing marketer, and she didn't say that, but I will. And she's an amazing marketer, and that's not part of like her services at all, but she knows that right now she can use her knowledge and skill set and all the things that she's like experimented with and tested and tried and learned to help people get somewhere faster. And so I just think like don't just look at us as doing that, but think about how are you doing that for your people.
Okay, and I'm on here, Sharon Jones, you are doing things right now. May Novak, you're doing things. I want y'all to put them as your publicist, put your things that you're doing right now, because May Novak with her crystal candles.
Hey, May.
Every candle bought of some money is going back to COVID people. Stephanie Norris, you're over there with Green Brothers giving things to our healthcare providers. Stephanie Reel is giving some time at a discounted price. Like, go in, use this space. We're going to share it with people. Jacinda's got her Green Brothers. Jacinda's got her uniquely qualified. Every Wednesday we get together. Generally her Wind Down Wednesdays calls. She's doing free ones. Get in there. May's texting me. Maybe I need to do it for her.
Danielle with WeWork. Cool. Oh, that's awesome.
Okay. I'm let me go do this for May real quick, because she's listening. This is what your PR person will do to you. She'll make
Put in
you
the stuff that you're doing like right now that can help other people, that you feel that you want to share. Like, definitely share it with the world right now. Share it with us.
Right. Because this is how we help each other. This is how we build community. And I'll copy all of this and send it out, because Danielle, please promote it with your WeWork members, because this is some cool things that we're doing. Shannon King's over there in LA getting her IV hydration business going. I know a lot of y'all. Shocking. So yeah.
Our motto through all of this has been find another way. Yes. I went to pick up sushi the other day from my favorite sushi place here, Yamazuru Sushi. And they had completely changed how they are serving people right now, because obviously you can't, eat inside. And it was like an operation. It was like a well-oiled machine. They had all these bags lined up and table where you could check out and all that. I'm like, wow, you guys are doing a great job. And like only 2 people inside at one time to check out, all that kind of stuff. And the guy said, we're doing the best with what we have. And I thought, cool. I love that. That's really all you can do right now, is the best with what you've got.
And not the truth.
Consulting, I assist small business owners to get certified to do business with government and major corporations. Yes, very cool. In our ministry, we have 6 a.m. prayer calls every day. Oh, wow. And 8 p.m. virtual Bible studies. This has been,
Jen, I'm trying to pull up yours. What do you do, Jen?
Oh, so I just started, I'll pull up the waitlist thing actually.
Yeah.
I just started this new community for females to network with each other online. And it's going to be an application thing and online Zoom meetings, networking. And I'm like the matchmaker where I'm going to match people, because I really feel like networking right now and community right now is so important. I mean, I wasn't just saying that in my presentation. I think it's one of the most important things, for sure. And so I'm trying to play a role in that.
Yeah, intentional networking and being intentional about it. I mean, I think it's easy to jump into every group and everything that's going on, but being really intentional with your time and who you're learning from and who you are networking with, rather than like that full scramble that we were talking about. And like, I love talking to other people about their businesses. I have ideas all day long for other people's stuff because I have mine now.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, I used to work with clients on their marketing, and it was just my favorite thing to come up with different ideas and strategies. And this is the time right now where there's just so much opportunity to do something different, and that can carry you through when we go back to normal or whatever the new normal is going to be. I moved my entire business into my house for this, like I have a 1,300 square foot warehouse, and I moved all of my inventory into my home so I can still do this. Like, it's crazy.
You got to. What else are you going to do? Okay. Do you got questions? We can unmute you. I'm putting in all of our email addresses. Do you want hey at Little Rebel, Chrystal? Which one do you want?
No, do hi at crystalrose.com.
Chrystal or Chrystal?
Chrystal. Okay. Yeah, hi at crystalrose.com.
What you get for being famous. All right, guys, do you have any questions? We'll, all right, how are we gonna follow up, Jen?
We have all your email addresses, so we'll send you guys an email with more information, and we hope to see you next week.
A link to the replay.
Yeah. It's next Tuesday, April 14th from 2 to 4. We wanted to do it where we could be with all of our coast people, East Coast to West Coast. And with it, like we said, you'll get time with us. Each of us have downloadable worksheets that we'll give you. We can probably talk about that. I will give you my tips to local media, as well as a sample of a media advisory and media release. Chrystal, what you got?
What we're doing for next week, you mean?
She'll have some downloadables, and she'll have some.
Oh yeah, so they're
downloadables.
Worksheets, downloadables. My presentation will obviously be way more in depth. There'll be some more how-to strategies, real life, what to do, and we can even like workshop through a couple of people's actual real life in real time strategy.
Yeah, we'd love to do that. That's our favorite. So,
it is. We do it live in seminars too. It's so fun.
I'm such a nerd.
I love these so much.
I'm a nerd. Proud nerd.
Jacinda will tell you, I would have told you 5 or 6 months ago, I'm not speaking. And then once I started doing it, I was like, oh, I like it.
Yeah, and I think we're all nerds if we're here. Like, we are here together and nerding out our own rights. Yes.
I love it. All right, guys.
My No Tribe.
What's
Nicole,
the video? It's called hippovideo.io.
All right, guys, we're starting to ramble.
We're out. Bye.
We're out. We're going to send you all this. Bye, guys. I'm going to copy this. And we'll see y'all next week. We really hope.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.